For any teacher in the UK, there are two words that can make your heart just pound. Ofsted's coming, right? That announcement, it just brings this wave of pressure and anxiety. But here's the thing, being prepared is the absolute best way to turn that stress into confidence. So today, we're gonna break down exactly how you can get ready. Okay, let's just picture it. That email lands in the inbox. The clock starts ticking. It feels super high stakes, I know. But what you do next, well, that can make all the difference between feeling totally overwhelmed and feeling like you're in control. So let's pull back the curtain and really demystify this whole process, starting with the absolute basics.
You can't prepare for a challenge if you don't know what you're up against, right? So first things first, let's get a really clear picture of what Ofsted even is and what they're actually looking for when they walk into your school. So at its heart, Ofsted is the regulatory body that's there to make sure every school is providing a high quality and, this is crucial, a safe environment for students. Their job is to do a deep dive, a really comprehensive evaluation of how effective the school is, and your classroom, it's a key piece of that puzzle. So when those inspectors walk through the door, what's on their checklist? You know, it's not some big mystery. They actually operate from a really clear framework, and they're focusing on 5 key areas that give them that big, holistic view of the school. Their entire approach is really built around these 5 pillars. It all kicks off with the quality of education. That's your curriculum, your teaching, and that directly impacts behavior and attitudes, right? I mean, are your students engaged and respectful because the learning is actually compelling? From there, they're gonna look at personal development, which is all about growth beyond the academics. And watching over all of that is leadership and management, how the whole school is run. But underpinning everything, the absolute non-negotiable foundation is safeguarding. Making sure students are safe is priority number 1. Okay, so now we know what they're looking for. Let's build our game plan. And listen, this is not about some last-minute panic. This is about a systematic, 7-step approach that's gonna let you confidently show off the amazing work you're already doing. Step 1 is absolutely fundamental. You have to read the rulebook. The Education Inspection Framework, or the EIF, is Ofsted's public guide. It is your single most important resource. Seriously, it spells out the exact criteria for good and outstanding teaching. You'll see the specific language they use, the kind of evidence they look for. I mean, you wouldn't play a game without knowing how to score points, right? Well, the EIF tells you exactly that. So once you know the rules, you need to gather your proof. It is not enough to just be a great teacher. You have to prove it with a really clear paper trail. This means having accurate records, lesson plans, assessments, samples of student work. But here's the real key. Don't just collect papers. You need to curate them so they tell a story. Show a struggling student's first messy draft right next to their polished final piece. See, that's not just documentation. That is tangible, powerful proof of your impact. So why is self-assessment so important? Well, because it lets you control the narrative before anyone else does. This step is all about taking a quiet, honest look in the mirror. You know, a great way to do this is to film one of your lessons, or maybe ask a colleague you trust to observe you. Where are you knocking it out of the park? And where are your blind spots? Having that self-awareness isn't a weakness. It's the mark of a strong, professional educator. And as you're reflecting, really focus on these 2 critical questions. First, how am I meeting the needs of every single student in my class? You know, from the high flyer to the one who needs that extra bit of support. And second, how do I know they're making progress? What's my actual evidence? Answering these for yourself with real examples is going to prepare you to answer them for an inspector with total confidence. Think about it. Your classroom is the stage for learning, and it makes a powerful first impression. An organized, stimulating room that proudly displays student work that isn't just about looking nice, it's evidence. It tells a story of high expectations, of student pride, and a positive learning culture before you've even said a single word. This one is where it all comes together. You have to be your own best advocate. An inspector might ask you, so why did you teach the lesson this way? You need to be able to say something like, well, my assessment data showed this group was struggling with concept X, so I used this specific scaffolding technique to support them, and as you can see from their work today, it was really effective. You have to connect the dots for them. And please remember this, an inspection is a team sport. It's not just about your classroom, it's about the entire school. So talk to your colleagues, work together, make sure there's a consistent message and a shared understanding of the school's vision and values. A unified front is a strong front, always. And finally, just be human.
Inspectors really appreciate transparency. They know that no school is perfect. Being honest about your strengths and being open about the areas you're actively trying to improve doesn't show weakness at all. It shows a real commitment to growth, which is exactly what they want to see. Okay, so you've done all the prep work. The day is finally here. What does it actually look like? Let's quickly walk through the key events so you know exactly what to expect when the inspectors are on site. No surprises. On the day, your experience is pretty much going to revolve around 3 main activities. They'll do lesson observations, some might be planned, some might be drop-ins, to see you in action. They'll sit down and interview you to talk about your practice, and they'll talk to your students to get their real, unfiltered perspective. Just knowing these are the core activities can help take away so much of that fear of the unknown. After all this talk of preparation and checklists, it is so easy to see an inspection as, well, a threat. But I want to close by suggesting a really powerful shift in your mindset. What if we just reframed this entire experience? I mean, just think about the message in those words. This isn't just a test you have to pass. It's a platform. It's a structured chance to show off all your hard work, get some valuable feedback, and play a direct role in making your school even better. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. The inspection will end, the inspectors will leave, but your professional journey, that keeps going. The real question isn't about the grades you get, it's about the growth you achieve. So, what's the one thing you'll take away from this whole process to become an even better educator tomorrow?